I do like to buy a box of batteries every Monday to throw into the ocean.
Hello, good morning.
Ooh, Cyber Monday!
Wow, that was a pitch I haven't heard you hit in a while.
Woo! Good morning, BBs. It is too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence, and the only place to find your deals.
The only place that you're going to hear about the hottest Cyber Monday deals.
Oh, the deals this morning? Ooh, they're hot off the press.
Yeah.
They're hot off the press. Ooh, these deals, you're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it. We have 11% off some weird bath towels in a color that nobody wants.
Yeah.
We've got 13% off of that one kind of battery that's like too big for most things in your house.
Yeah.
But if you need 73 of them, we got you.
C batteries.
We got you.
Yeah. You know,
I'm talking about the double D batteries. Big rechargeables.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Whoa.
whoa. Hey. We got so much to talk about today. We're going to talk about Australia. It's a country and a continent. That's fucking weird.
We're going to talk mostly about how they're going forward with kids on social media, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
We're going to talk about OpenAI, unfortunately.
We're unfortunately always going to talk about OpenAI.
We're going to talk about some Elon Musk, some Dungeon and Dragon. We got so many good things, but
none of those were good things.
But baby, we got to
get
Australia.
To these. You're fine.
We got to get Australia. What's your deal?
Australia, you're fine.
Australia, what are you about? Australia, what's your accent?
You're
Australia,
fine.
you're like,
fine.
What are you? You're like halfway in between a British and a New Zealand. What is it? What's the accent? Not quite halfway to a South African. Where are you going? Australia?
We love you, Australian BBs.
What's up with the Tim Tam? No.
Good morning.
No. Listen.
Anthony's Australian accent is 40% off.
That's right. For Cyber Monday, the deals are flowing. They're flowing. If you want a deal, Saige, you just reach up to the tree and you pluck it.
Yeah.
And you go,
I love that.
What a deal.
I love that I can reach up to the Amazon tree, okay? And I can grab something that is 30% off of its 30% price increase they did last week.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that amazing?
Listen, if you haven't been following, Black Friday and Cyber Monday aren't real.
Nope.
They used to be real, and that's why you kind of remember them as real.
Yeah.
No longer real.
No longer real. Listen, if you do not have a browser extension that tells you the lifetime price of an item before you buy it online,
listen, if
you're losing. You're losing.
You're over 30 and your network doesn't include a browser extension that tells you the price history of things.
A browser extension that blocks advertisements, except for some sites when you try to read a news article and then they say, you can't read that, you have a ad block on.
What are you doing?
That's rude of you.
What are you doing to us?
Will you pause it for me?
If you don't look at the ads, we can't not pay our writers.
Then who will?
Like, wait a minute. Did you just double negative me? I don't know. Are you ad blocking right now? Here's what's up. Back in the halcyon days when America was really about what America's about, consuming.
Yeah, it was a real country.
It was a real country where consumerism mattered.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't just expected of us. It was something we aspired to.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Black Friday, Cyber Monday were real things. And the reason was, on Black Friday, if a store could get you into their store early in the morning on the biggest shopping day of the year, you'd probably buy the thing that was on sale. And then you'd stick around and you'd buy a few more things there because you're already there. It's already a nightmare.
You might as well, I guess.
You might as well. And then Cyber Monday was back in the day when everybody was still shopping in the real world. Cyber Monday said, hey, don't shop in the real world.
You don't have to go fight an old lady in a Walmart for a TV.
Let us show you why online shopping is actually better and you don't need to go out. We'll give you these deals and then you can see how beautiful and easy it is to shop online. Nobody needs to prove either of those things anymore.
We know that it's easy to shop online.
So they don't need to get you. And Black Friday, they don't have you anymore.
Nope.
So now, nobody does any deals.
No. But specifically, beyond not doing deals, because you'll see things all over the place that are going to say Cyber Monday deal. And now Amazon is one of the biggest culprits of this, as Amazon is the biggest culprit of most things in this world.
Honestly, what we're about to talk about is the least criminal thing Amazon does.
Yeah, exactly. But shockingly legal in that they can raise the price of the item right before Black Friday or Cyber Monday. I'm talking usually a day or two before. And so that when they raise it by 15%, they can then do a 15% off for Cyber Monday.
It's wild. If you have the tracker, like a honey or something like that, whatever tracker you use.
Yeah.
You'll see it, and it's fuck wild. And it is at a level that it has not been at maybe ever.
It's definitely worse.
Maybe ever.
It's absolutely worse than I've ever seen it. I literally couldn't find a single thing actually on sale this year. I had like a few carts of things on online websites being like, well, these are things that I'm going to need at some point. But like, hey, we're restocking a lot of stuff in the studio right now. Right?
We were robbed.
Hey, everybody, as a reminder, we were robbed. So click that subscribe button, like the video, help us out, patreon.com/pixelcircus. Anyways, with that in mind, we're buying a lot of things for the studio. We're having to replace a lot of equipment and things. And so I was like, great, we'll wait for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We'll get some deals on some of this stuff. That would be good. No, we won't. Absolutely no deals. Fuck you.
There's not a single thing that says it's on sale that I've found that's actually on sale.
No joke. I genuinely, I looked at cameras. I looked at lenses. I looked at lights. I looked at microphones. I looked at regular household things.
Yeah.
Food for my cats. It'll be like, 23% off. And I'm like, that's already not very much. That's not the level we expect from a Cyber Monday, Black Friday. And it's not even really 23% off. It's 0% off. It's full price.
I don't want to blow up my OPSEC here.
Yeah.
But I mean, my front page of Amazon right now is garbage.
Yeah.
It's garbage. It's trash, garbage, fire.
Yeah.
Where am I on this
You want a
thing?
big laptop or a small laptop?
Give me a big boy, and then we can get like all Amazon is like, hey man, do you want like various phone stands? And like, okay, one thing that Amazon is correct about is I do like to buy a box of batteries every Monday to throw into the ocean.
Yeah.
One of the beautiful things about living in California and living in Los Angeles in particular is you're so close to the beach.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I like to do after a hard week or on a Monday like today when I'm starting my week, and I want to get my head in the right place. So I like to just buy like a fuckload of batteries.
Yeah.
Drive them to the ocean and just throw them one at a time.
One by one.
It's beautiful.
It feels good.
It feels good, and it is good.
And it does good.
It feels good, and it does good. And I honestly, with the holidays coming up, sometimes I do like to treat myself to a full-size car battery and just toss it right into the sea. And Amazon does know that. But the rest of this Amazon stuff, I'm like, why are you showing me this stuff?
Mine is, I'd say, pretty accurate. I get it. Like, my Amazon homepage does know me pretty well. None of them are deals, mind you.
No.
But, like, my Amazon homepage is like, hey, remember when you got really obsessed with those, like, Minecraft-themed magnetic not Legos?
Can I tell you something that I know about you?
Yeah.
And, Saige isn't going to say much about this, but, Saige has a birthday coming up. And I was looking for things for your birthday, and I found a set of stickers. And what it is it's a sticker. They're stickers of various environments. I don't know if you've seen these, but it'll be like a sticker of a bakery, like a background plate of a bakery wall.
Okay.
And then all of the stickers are things that go in the bakery, and you build your bakery with stickers.
That's cute.
And
it's like those sticker books when you're a kid, the like fashion sticker books.
But it's for like, and they're very precise, and it's all done in like perspective, like isometric perspective. And you can like put shelves on the wall and then stock the shelves with whatever you want. And I saw that, I was like, I would give that to Saige. And I think in my mind, I watched you open it, be really into it, start doing it, accidentally put one sticker on crooked, freak out for the rest of your day. And I'm like, I'm not going to ruin her day like that.
I thought about it, and as soon as you said it, I was like, damn, the only thing that would make that better is if the stickers were removable so you could stick them again. You know, there's that material where you can like lay things down and it feels kind of like a sticker, but it's not actually sticky. That'd be the dream.
Like
Bridget,
the staticky.
hey, my goodness.
Goodness, Britt. Just as a reminder, we will, everybody who supports us during the show, we do a big roll call at the end of the show.
Yeah.
So we're not forgetting you and we're not ignoring you.
We appreciate you very much.
Yeah, all it's showing me is trash. It's like phone cases and batteries. And
there's always a TV. Everyone's got a TV on there.
I looked at a coffee machine once, I think a year ago, and now all it does is show me coffee machines. Like for as insidious as algorithms are, and as perfect as algorithms are most of the time,
it should be better at you.
The Amazon algorithm sucks. The Amazon algorithm is like, hey, you just bought some headphones. Do you want to see 50,000 different headphones?
And I just got headphones.
No, my dude, I literally just bought that.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm just into headphones.
You're that headphone guy. No, I'm not.
I just did my reresearch on the headphones and I bought my one pair of headphones that I needed.
It's like when you work at an office and the boss only knows one thing about each person.
Yeah.
They have like one fact written down about each person. It's like
headphones guy.
It's like, oh, this guy and his headphones, am I right? He's always listening to audio. I've never seen him taste audio. I've never seen him. No,
always the headphones.
Always the headphones. This guy. Anyway, you're one of my favorites. Happy holidays, employees. We need you all to like crunch this week.
Yeah,
like real bad. But don't worry, I'm going to be thinking of you as I'm gone.
Yep.
Yeah. So when you look at these deals, I mean, the other thing is this year really shows how bad online shopping has gotten in terms of whatever you look at. Like, for instance, Saige and I, a little bit ago, realized we have the same vacuum, but we don't have the same vacuum. There are 19 identical vacuums from identical companies with different names. Which one is the real one? It's impossible to know.
They're all made in the same factory. They just put a different brand name on it. Some have different colorways.
Yep. But the thing is with these companies where it's just like, oh, just buy the cheapest one because they're all made in the same factory. Here's the issue. One factory, it's like the A-level versions that come off of the the line.
Yeah.
Some of these other companies get like the B and C tier ones that have minor defects, slight issues, didn't pass like all the testing.
Yeah.
And you never know which one you're getting. And they're just all fake. Everything on Amazon is fake and dumb now.
Yeah, my garbage vacuum gave out after less than a year. I had to buy a better vacuum already.
Awful.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a trap. It's a trick. You'll spend more.
It's an absolute trick. Vox was writing about it. They said that Black Friday is a trap. Here are things that you should buy and absolutely not buy during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And they just start off right away with like, hey, the quality of our stuff is worse now.
Yeah.
It's worse now.
Things are absolutely made more poorly. And hey, you know what's going to happen when the tariffs hit? Hey, your whole idea of
when the tariffs hit?
Hey, your whole American exceptionalism idea that you have been taught that things made in the U.S. are of better quality is about to be shattered. Is about to be absolutely crushed.
We do not have the assembly lines, the people, the training. We don't have any of that stuff anymore. It's going to be super dope to see what we can make here.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I can't wait to know.
Yeah,
I can't wait to learn what it is that we can make here.
Gonna find out.
Here's the thing. They were saying like, hey, what are you supposed to do knowing that everything is bad now? What do you buy? And it's like, listen, if you're going to buy anything this year, what they said is anything that was a huge investment that you were looking to make already, something that's like a large appliance.
Okay. If you are actually looking to get a new TV.
Yeah, if you're looking for a large appliance or a new
refrigerator.
TV, now is a time to kind of like look at that. But anything else, don't do it. Don't do it. They're saying like a lot of these things, like all of these stores that are doing big sales. These big sales are no different and any of the other like 3-time, 4-time a year sales that they have. I don't know if you've ever gone to a quarterly sale from one of these companies. The one that they use as an example here is like a Sephora. They're like, Sephora #1 does not put their stuff on any kind of great sale.
Yeah, no, not at all.
They just advertise that it's a sale.
Yes. I used to work in cosmetics. I worked in makeup stores for years. That was like my survival job through all of my late teens, early 20s. And consistently in department stores and makeup stores, they would put up signs everywhere that say like, Black Friday with no specifications. And people would walk up to the counter and they'd be like, so what are the deals on? And I would have to look them in the eyes and go, nothing. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, is there, and I go, there are no deals. There are literally no sales here. Makeup doesn't go on sale like that from traditional brands. It just, I'm so sorry. It is 0% off. And they'd be like, not one thing. Not one thing. But we'd still have to get there at 4 p.m. on Thursday to open up.
Yep.
For those doorbusters.
Doorbusters, baby.
Now you're here.
Here's the thing. It's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad out there.
What's so weird about the type of bad it is too is like people are still trying to like capitalism their way through it as like brands and creators that have to survive in this season. And like, this is an article from PC Gamer that says the latest MetaQuest headsets aren't in the Cyber Monday sales, but I'd probably pick them for 2 reasons anyway. This is a real article.
Hey, but I mean, here's the thing. I feel like that article, yes, the title is absurd, but also that's probably somebody that's just trying to say kind of the same thing we're saying, where it's like, I know you're looking for Cyber Monday deals. They're not out there. Please don't buy whatever garbage VR headset is on sale.
Yes.
Please, like if you're looking for deals on VR for Black Friday, I'm here to tell you there are not any.
I'm here to advertise the Quest to you though.
Well,
like it's just.
Well, if you are looking, I mean, look, a lot of these sites you're on what, PC Gamer?
Yeah.
A lot of PC Gamers traffic does come from product recommendations.
Yeah.
And if somebody right now is looking for a VR headset and they're like, VR headset Black Friday deal, I would rather what pops up in my browser be the PC Gamer guy saying, no, there are no sales.
Yeah.
This is the one. And it's always going to be the one.
But don't you find this a little misleading?
That's wild.
That's on the article.
That's actually wild.
That's actually the first image on the article.
Why would they not just show the headsets? And it's because of Google search, right?
But
if you're searching and the image pops up on the Google search and it says Cyber Monday, you go, oh, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I hate it. Yeah. I hate it because they have to use the system to tell you about the system.
I'm just like, yeah, are we? Is that? Because like, when you look, if you're just scrolling through PC Gamer, right? Like in their articles, this is under news. There it is. Cyber Monday deals, MetaQuest headset.
Yep.
And then you get there and they go, okay, well, it's not a deal, but you should buy it for full price.
It's not.
Look. I bought a 3S.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's not like, look, it's not deals. It's not deals.
Maybe we just could have not. What if? Hear me out.
Did you buy a 3S?
Yeah.
Did they not give you a 3S?
No, I bought a 3S.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you just did a thing for them.
For games specifically.
Oh, for games. Yeah. Okay, not
but
for them.
But looking at this, like, look. Okay, news, deal. Why does this have deal next to it then?
Just because it's good deal.
Don't label
it's good deal.
Don't label it as a Cyber Monday deal.
It's good deal. Any day of the week is good deal.
You see what I'm saying?
What I like to do is I take the batteries and I put them in my car.
Yeah.
And then I drive to the sea.
Yeah.
And what you can do is you can sit on a rock.
Yeah.
And as the tide is coming in, you can just.
Yeah.
Bloop, bloop. It's beautiful. It's calming. It's so zen.
Very nice.
It's so nice. It's Cyber Monday as we speak, Saige.
Yes.
We're here.
Yeah.
It's Cyber Monday.
Yeah, we're in the internet mines.
Let's just look at what's on the front page of the deal site right now.
What deal site?
Well, there are 2 big ones that I think.
I don't know the deal site.
There's some deal sites. We don't need to shill for deal sites, but I'm right here. I'm on the inventory, which used to be Kinja deals. But here's what they're going to tell you should buy right now today on Cyber Monday. Now here's what's interesting. At some point, the inventory fired 90% of their writers. And these are written by AI now.
No.
And I saw they were for Black Friday. I want to know if it's still there.
Oh my God.
For Black Friday, they were listing a TV that was like, you can get this TV for $100. Yeah, here it is. A $100 Roku Smart TV, thanks to its brilliant 4K resolution, HDR 10 plus color, all of this stuff, $100. No, when you click through, it's a 720p TV. It's a 720p TV. It's a 32-inch TV at Target. It's still up because nobody's running. Nobody is overseeing anything anymore. And it's just like, wait until you see the beautiful HDR 10. It's like, hey, ChatGPT? Hey, OpenAI? Just because somebody's used those words to describe a television before doesn't mean that you can describe all televisions that way.
No, that's not just the description of a television.
It's fucking wild. It's still like very easy to find on their main best deals of the day for Cyber Monday.
Wow.
Nobody's taking a look at it.
No, of course not.
Listen, if you want to see a television in brilliant 4K,
I'm going to be honest. I actually didn't know they still sold 720p.
Anything that's like computer monitor sized could go down to as low as 720 still. And that was like a 30-inch. And one of the reasons I looked at it is I was like, wait a minute, this is a 32-inch TV in 4K with HDR.
That would be very expensive.
I'm like, that's actually a great, like one of my monitors is kind of like blinking. I was
sure,
like, I could get that for $100.
For $100, of course.
It's a great editing monitor.
But
no, that's a 720p monitor. They're talking about like, hey, you know what's the best sale you can get right now? A box of socks. Are you looking for box of socks?
Sure.
So many socks? What if I told you if you buy $125 worth of socks from this sock site, if you buy $125 off of this sock site, you get free shipping. All you have to do is buy $125 worth of socks.
Save big this Cyber Monday on $125 of socks. The socks are not discounted, but the shipping is free.
I don't know that I own $125 worth of socks.
I could tell you for certain I don't.
I couldn't possibly.
There's no way. But free shipping.
Oh.
I will say, while we're talking about discounts on socks, if you're going to buy socks off the internet and you want an actual discount on them, not sponsored, good.store. This is John and Hank Green's merch store. A bunch of all of the like net revenue goes to various charities. Some are like maternal health in Sierra Leone. They have a couple of different things, but they're actually having 25% off site-wide. They have a socks subscription.
Yeah, but if I buy...
money go to charity.
If I buy $125 worth of socks for them, do I save $4 on shipping?
I bet you do. I would bet you do.
Here's what I love. I love the idea that it costs so much to ship socks.
Yeah.
That you need that discount.
God, I gotta wait for the free shipping.
Yeah,
I really gotta wait for the free shipping.
You ever try to put a sock in the mail?
Ugh.
It costs you so much money.
Well, I mean, listen, Anthony, it is $125 worth of stock.
Yeah. So
at that point, it's a great deal.
You'd need a big envelope.
Yeah. How many pairs of socks is $125 worth of socks from there?
I don't know. Let's see. One sock cutter, he cuts socks. Two sock cutters, they cut socks. Three sock cutters, they cut socks. Four sock cutters.
Lost it early. It's been a while.
Nothing's on sale.
Nothing's on sale. Everything is AI. Let's continue talking a little bit about AI because maybe this is something that could actually help put a stop to the horrible AI mining bullshit that is happening on that deals site. Listen. News sites are getting a little fucking sick and tired of ChatGPT mining all of their data without their permission. They say, hey, these are real human beings putting work into something. You simply can't have it.
Yeah.
You have to at least ask for it. You can't just take it and have it. And that's already supposed to be the rules.
Right. If you see anything, here's what's wild to me about the AI data gathering is that we already know that anything that's not marked with a Creative Commons or an open source or anything, like there's legal precedents that we have set that say people's content is theirs.
Yes.
It's theirs. It doesn't matter if half of the Instagram accounts you follow are reposting the same image.
Yeah.
They're not a posta.
Right.
They're not a posta.
They're not a posta. And they aren't supposed to build an entire business off of it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Even the people who steal content online at least add Subway Surfer, you know?
Yeah, please, at least.
Come on. So a bunch of news sites, specifically in Canada, because America never leads the charge on regulation, are banding together to sue OpenAI over its use of their articles to train their language model. So specifically, News Media Canada President Paul Deegan has said these artificial intelligence companies cannibalize proprietary content and are free riding on the backs of news publishers who invest real money to employ real journalists who produce real stories for real people.
Now, the reason we know that this is coming from Canadians is because American companies have already fired all of their writers.
Exactly.
They're already using the AI.
There are no real people writing real news for real stories.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're not. They're just aren't there anymore. So it has to be the Canadian companies doing it because they're the only ones with people left.
And now, listen, we know that many people have been like, hey, you can't do that. And OpenAI says, okay, sure, why not? But there is a legitimate consequence with this that I think could actually make a difference because they're looking at damages of $20,000 per article.
I love this.
It would take a lot of money to touch OpenAI's wallet, right? Like the number has to be really high before it is worth it for them,
right?
And not just a fee of doing business.
And here's what's fun. It will be a very large number. Because there have been documents that have come out before, particularly with, I think it was with, not with Stable, maybe it was Midjourney. I don't remember which of these image generators. Maybe it was Dolly, but it may have even been OpenAI. But Discord logs came out. I don't know if you remember this. From people that were like, here's how we anonymize the data.
Yeah.
We know what data we have, but here's how we anonymize it so people can't track it.
Yeah.
And then there was also examples of their data in there. So we know that they're doing this.
Yeah.
The problem is artists don't have money already because of the system.
Right. Because they're artists.
Right. But news organizations and media companies do have money.
They got lawyers.
Less and less every year, but they do still have some. We are talking about the Globe and Mail, the Canadian Press, the CBC, the Toronto Star, Metroland Media, and Post Media. These are huge, huge companies. And they don't like that OpenAI is just stealing the way their writers write shit.
Yeah. Now, look, quite a few of these, terrible, terrible publications. The Globe notoriously not known for being good.
They don't need to be good.
But
this is a Kong versus Godzilla situation. Let them fight. Let them. We are all Ken Watanabe sitting on the sidelines saying, "Murder one another. Murder one another for us, for our amusement." It's the beginning of Gladiator 2, and I am Denzel Washington. Fight in the water for me.
I get it. I've never seen any Gladiator.
Oh.
I've never seen one Gladiator.
Oh, they're phenomenal films. The second one may be even better than the first.
Anyways, listen. That's not the only thing we're going to talk about in AI. So let's just get this out of the way. Let's unfortunately talk about Elon Musk. I hate to talk about Elon Musk, but here's what I have. I have a gift for you. I have a fear to put to rest for you all, okay? I've gotten a lot of messages this week of people going, is Elon Musk gonna buy D&D?
No.
Guys,
No.
here's some things you should know. 1, Elon Musk never does what he says he's gonna do. He never fulfills a promise.
The only reason he did Twitter is because they said, we're going to take you to court.
They took him to court and made him buy Twitter. He didn't want to do it. And he was so actively saying it. He was like, I want to do it. I'm going to do it, you guys.
Maybe
Don't
I'll
you
just
forget
do it.
I'm going to do it.
Maybe I'll do it.
I've got the money. I'll do it.
Maybe I'll do it tomorrow.
And then they were like, okay, do it tomorrow. And he was like,
Elon Musk
is
is that kid who like wants to be a bully, and he's like,
Yeah.
meet me outside after school.
Yeah.
And you show up and you're like, hey man, I'm here. Where are you?
at home. My mom picked me up.
Where are you? Haha, I faked you out. I made you think I was going to fight you, you dummy. You're not worth fighting. Oh, okay, bud.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All
It's
right,
not because
bud.
you're scared to fight me. I
Yeah,
bet.
cool, man.
So listen, one of Elon Musk's dumb attempts at humor. And now listen, I do understand that he is the most unfunny person on the planet. So it's really hard to recognize when he's joking because typically a joke would make you laugh.
Yeah.
And then you look at his page and nothing he has ever said has made anyone laugh. So it's hard to tell that he's trying to make jokes and humor. But he does make attempts. He is saying that XAI is going to start an AI game studio.
Oh, this was
This is where it started.
You're right. This was the big thing last week
Yeah.
where he was like, games are under too much control from corporations that don't get it. XAI is starting an AI-based game studio to fix games. We're going to say your large corporation is going to save games from the large corporation?
Too many game studios are owned by massive corporations. My massive corporation is going to start an AI game studio to make games great again.
Absolutely choke.
Also, apparently this, like, everybody just gets to use the slogan now, like it's theirs.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, dude. Anyways, his response to that was, I know, I'll make it worse. It's bad. What if I made it worse, objectively? And then, somebody tweeted...
Oh God, this fucking guy.
I'm so exhausted.
Okay. If you're in the slime pit of games Twitter,
and I hope you aren't.
I hope
for
you've
your
gotten,
heart and soul.
I hope you've gotten out of there. I wish you a very rope and winch to get yourself out of there. But it was Gums. It was Gums, of course, who tweeted
Dumbass
this shit.
bullshit.
He retweeted this.
People talking about in the new player's handbook, they acknowledge that some things in the original Dungeons and Dragons rule set were offensive and exclusionary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It was
Yes.
It was made by listen, some very lovely shut-ins in the 70s. Some very lovely shut-ins in the 70s, and they have learned along the way, and they have made updates throughout time.
They did a making of D&D book, and in it, they acknowledged some of the harmful past of Dungeons and Dragons. They acknowledged that previously this was a game that was almost exclusively played by, quote, white middle-class men.
Yes.
And that the game felt like it was exclusively accommodating to them.
Yes.
They say that there were things that were casually hurtful to anyone with a physical or mental disability who happened to be old, fat, or not conventionally attractive, indigenous people, black, or a woman. Literally all of this. They just acknowledged that, hey, in the 70s, historical war gamers weren't doing the best of things to anyone but middle-class white men.
Right.
And for some reason...
That's it. That's all they said.
Literally, they don't even, like, insult them. They just say, like, hey, this did exist. There's not even, like, really an opinion in that.
Yeah, I was talking about this with a friend last night, where it's like some of that stuff on like Max or Disney Plus, where it has like a card in the beginning that's like, hey, this was made during a different time.
Yep.
We're not going to say anything else other than that.
Yep.
Where it's just like, hey, do you want to make a stand about any of that? No.
Yep.
We're simply saying we acknowledge it to be true.
Simply saying they acknowledge it to be true. And that was simply too much. And this person's like, D&D creators, Gygax, and others erased and slandered at the same time. Wait. Hey, how can you be erased and slandered at the same time, buddy?
I'm going to push all the buttons.
Why are you pressing all the buttons?
I'm figuring out where buttons are.
Okay, I already showed him this, so yeah, it's all good. No, you're not erased or slandered. If ever you hear your actions repeated back to you, and you feel like that is a poor representation of you, then your actions were bad, and you should change them.
Yeah,
But-
if somebody is simply if the court reporter is reading it back,
and you're like, whoa, that does not make me look good.
whoa,
this is slander.
That's going to incriminate me.
Actually, slander has a meaning, and that isn't it. Anyways, fucking, I don't know why Elon Musk decided to get in and say, nobody, and I mean nobody, gets to trash Gary Gygax and the geniuses who created Dungeons and Dragons. What the fuck is wrong with Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast? May they burn in hell.
Okay, but
Hey,
everyone,
dude. Oh my God.
That's the most, okay, regardless of your beliefs or opinions about this, that is the most wildly out of pocket, like,
we really do have to pay attention to the fact that this behavior and rhetoric is escalating.
he just literally there was a paragraph that said, hey, we acknowledge that in the beginning this was not as cool as it is now, and Elon Musk said, I'll murder people,
Like,
I'll destroy. I hope that they have the worst possible future.
somebody being considered for government positions
Fucking
should
calm
not be
down.
allowed to go on the internet and say that they should burn in hell for acknowledging racism.
Yo, when we say that there is a pipeline on YouTube that's dangerous to teenagers, I want to say that it's most dangerous to Elon Musk. For some reason, this pipeline, which is brazenly obvious to anybody above the age of 14, was also just not clear to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Who people once said was the real life Iron Man. They said he was that smart. He apparently just can't watch a video where people go, but hey, what about men being better? And it literally radicalized him instantly.
It put him on the same pipeline as a 13-year-old boy.
It's like he just didn't get his Robux one day and he went bonkers and he never came back.
May they burn in hell.
I was supposed to get my Robux and I didn't. And now I'm going to destroy democracy and the economy. This is my Joker origin moment, Mom.
And it's just as fucking shitty. It's just as loser behavior. Anyways, another tweet goes out because people are continuing then on this shit. This guy, I don't even care about his name. He doesn't matter. Says, rest in peace, Dungeons and Dragons. Jason Tondro, the project lead of D&D and senior designer at Hasbro's Wizards of the Coast, explains that the intended audience is woke and that the Wizards of the Coast don't give a damn about what Elon Musk or other grognard, a slur for old school players, thinks. Hey, you don't just get to say something is a slur because you don't like being called it. That's not what a slur is. A slur isn't a word you don't identify with or like.
Here's the thing.
That's not what a slur is.
This particular account, this is Ian Miles Chong, still gray. He used to be a games journalist, and then just all of a sudden went incredibly right-wing. You should know.
The same pipeline.
You should know that anything he says about American politics is 100% a grift. The man doesn't live in America. And most of his stuff is about American politics and American culture. And
he's rage baiting.
He's rage baiting. He's one of the first and most prolific rage baiters on Twitter.
Disgusting.
And that's how he makes his money. So
gross, disgusting.
Anytime he says stuff like this, he's just an algorithm bait. I genuinely do think he thinks this way, but he's also just a rage baiter. That's all.
Yeah. And all that Jason said in this clearly Facebook comment they're referring to was, I didn't write the preface until late. I wrote it to address the concerns. It never occurred to me that I would rouse the ire of the grognards. It is obvious now to look back on it, but I just don't take those critiques seriously even now. I consider those people not worth listening to, so I don't anticipate their outrage.
There you go. Because here's the thing.
Yeah, he said the audience is only the woke.
We know a lot of old school players. There are a lot of old school players that run in our circles and in our community. And listen, they are split up into two groups. One of them is the group that's like, hey, I just want to bring back encumbrance, but also can I say slurs? Yeah. And the other one is like,
God, it's so rarely just one.
And the other one is, hey, yeah, the game has changed. I've changed. I've gotten older. We've all learned things. Just a chill person who realizes that these changes amount to nothing. These changes amount to nothing that changes the game in any way. If you enjoy the game of Dungeons and Dragons, you still will. Nothing has changed other than it's not written for one particular perspective anymore.
People who have always felt included feel excluded when others get invited.
Mm-hmm.
They feel that it is less for them. And now all of a sudden, even though they are just as welcome, when others are welcome, they say, but now it's less for me.
Yeah. And listen, if you have a DM that ever wants to bring back encumbrance, just look them in the eye and ask them why they're racist. Doesn't belong at the table, encumbrance.
Encumbrance does not belong at the table. Encumbrance also still exists, to be clear. Nobody uses it.
Nobody uses it.
Actually, hey, forcing out to the audience, encumbrance is still in the new PHP, I would assume. Just nobody would use it because we like fun.
I Read Earth says that game where you can make up the rules, it's ruined. That's the other thing about D&D. D&D was meant to give you a framework to tell your stories.
Yeah.
In order to do that for more people, they have to make the framework accessible to everyone. If you are honestly, you growing up, if you had gone to a game store or a comic store and wanted to get into D&D, because I know you were reading the books when you were a kid, like, you would read those books and be like, this game is not for me.
Yes, 100%.
Up to third edition, it was still like people would read those books and be like, that game is not for me.
No, absolutely not.
I had a friend in high school that was like, I was trying to get like D&D people together. I think I told you, very sad story. I never had a D&D group growing up. I just had the books.
Very sad.
But I tried to get one of my buddies into it, and he literally, he was like, no, I'm not. I looked at it. I'm not playing it. It's racist. It was a friend of mine who's black and was just like, no, this feels weird to me.
Yeah.
And as somebody who's a little older and a little wiser now, two Jewish people here telling you like, you can keep your goblins, but be careful with your goblins.
You know.
Look.
It isn't slander to quote Gary Gygax's words.
Mm-mm.
Gygax literally said Dungeons and Dragons isn't for girls. Right? So like, not just like, ooh, this didn't feel welcoming. This felt like it depicted us poorly. He literally said, well, girls can't play war games. They won't be able to handle it. They won't be able to process them. They don't have the mind for it.
They don't have a war mind. They don't have the mind to understand the real world war game implication of casting a fireball.
Right.
Which is real.
Which is
a real war thing that happens. It's very odd, and just the people who want to do this, I've noticed everybody in the live studio audience, basically when we mentioned that this was going on Twitter, most people are saying they're not even on Twitter anymore.
Yeah.
If they ever were. And I think that's the right thing to do at this point. The mass exodus from Twitter just keeps happening. And I think the people that are still holding on are holding on because, and we've talked about this before, are holding on because their job still requires it. That's basically it. Money still requires it.
Yeah.
Money, whatever that is, whether they're an influencer with the most their highest number of followers is over there, whether they're a company, whether they're a person with a business, whether they're a journalist.
Whatever it is,
it all comes down to Twitter was built into this thing that was valuable for people. Mm-hmm. And until something becomes as valuable, other people are still holding on to the old thing. But everybody moving away is just the best.
Which, hey,
just the best.
Follow me on Blue Sky.
Yeah, follow us on Blue Sky. We're both there.
We're there. Pixel Circus is there.
Yeah. I'm also on Threads. I'm on all the things. Let's see which one wins. Let them fight.
I don't think there's much of a fight.
I think Blue Sky over the last couple weeks mostly since the Brazil thing, has really started swinging towards being the popular favorite.
Blue Sky's taking it.
Threads, I think, like in terms of numbers, is still up there, but I wonder how many Threads users are actually active and how many just automatically started their account from Instagram.
Exactly. It was so easy to start that everybody did. I did, certainly, but yeah.
And it's also, we're also going to see over the next few weeks how sticky Blue Sky is.
Yeah.
How much people stay there.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice over there so far. I like it.
Yeah, the problem with Threads is already algorithmically setting itself up for negative reinforcement.
Yeah.
It's already there. Threads will show you a bunch of stuff from people you've never seen who are in the middle of a 6-post thread, and it's the most incendiary part of their thread.
Exactly.
And then you're just like, because they know that you're going to want to click in and be like, well, what's the context of this thread?
Yeah, it's because they already have, guys, it's meta.
It's meta. They have the
as
data.
a reminder, it's meta.
They have the data. They know how to get you.
Same as Facebook.
And it will turn, I think the problem is Threads will turn into Facebook.
Yeah.
My issue with Blue Sky, though, is like, hey, Blue Sky dude isn't the best. He's one of the original.
Oh, no, of course not. Sure, it's Jack Dorsey.
Yeah, it's Jack fucking Dorsey.
But
remember that before we hated Elon, we hated Jack Dorsey at the controls of Twitter.
Sure. But that or Zuck.
Sure. There's not a great, I mean, listen, somebody, this is where we cue the person that says, hey, what about Mastodon? Not going to happen.
Mastodon's
Stop
never
trying to
gonna
make
happen.
Mastodon happen.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, Jack Dorsey left? Great. Who replaced?
Yeah.
Who replaced Jack Dorsey?
I actually didn't know that.
Who's up top of Blue Sky now? Somebody's just
Jay Graber. Who's this? Let's do a live dive into Jay Graber.
This is what we like to call the live dive.
Okay. We're just gonna check it out together. This is Jay Graber, an American software engineer who's currently the CEO of Blue Sky. Also, let's see. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna take a quick peek. I'm gonna report back with some information.
Yeah, take a quick peek.
Look, Wikipedia has something very important to tell you in orange.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. She has a crypto background.
Okay, unfortunate.
She started off with Skew Chain. Then she worked soldering together Bitcoin mining equipment in Moses Lake, Washington. In 2016, she was a junior developer for the Zcash cryptocurrency.
Okay.
And then she founded a planning website called Happening Inc. And in 2021, she became the CEO of Blue Sky. Which means that she was there during Dorsey. Makes sense. Dorsey's a big crypto guy. Dorsey's a big currency and payments guy. Dorsey made a lot of his money off of Square. That's how Dorsey, like Twitter, he did well with, but Square is how he made his money. Dude loves payments. Dude loves being one of those guys who's like, oh, this poor developing nation doesn't have enough banks. That's their problem.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just come in there with a bank and it'll save them.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys. So we'll see what Jay Graber's all about.
I'm curious. Obviously, the crypto is not promising. The CEO being a woman of color is at least nice that it's one singular social platform that isn't actively being run by a copy and paste of the same white man.
Sure.
I can, that can go as far as it can go. With the crypto background.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know.
Hey, Saige. This isn't in whatever we would keep something in, but can I tell you something?
What?
You know who's having the worst Thanksgiving? Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel is.
Why is Vin Diesel having the worst things happened?
Oh, look at this post from Vin Diesel.
What is this? Why is he so sad?
I got Universal in one ear saying we need Fast X2 by March 2026.
Fast X2?
Yeah, that's what it's called. I've got Comcast in the other ear saying we need the 2 movies to be the finale. Then the writer on Fast 5 sent me this image and said, we need to see Dom and Hobbs resolve their differences. I just want to get back to real street racing, practical stunts, and a reunion of that beautiful brotherhood. Happy Thanksgiving. This guy is so on Dwayne Johnson's jock at all times.
Why is he so in love with The Rock?
He is so he wants to smooch The Rock so badly. So badly. Do you remember the last post he made about this?
Oh yeah.
Where it was like a video.
Our
He was like,
family and all of this stuff.
he's like, your kids called me Uncle Vin. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Why can't we get back together?
It'd be way funnier if they called him Uncle Diesel.
Uncle Diesel. This is so fucking weird to me. He's publicly posting to The Rock that's just like, it's just, he throws it in at the end. He's like, why can't I just go back to that beautiful brotherhood? Come on, The Rock.
Hey, this is really creepy.
Vin Diesel, this is
like
weird.
A really creepy ex-boyfriend. Have you seen that trend on TikTok where people are like dancing to voicemails from their exes?
No, but that's great.
It's great. Or like voice notes that they've gotten from men when like breaking up with them, weird things they've gotten on like dating sites like Hinge where you can send voice notes.
Sure.
People are just doing choreography to it. That's what this sounds like those.
Yeah.
This sounds like creepy messages people get from their ex-boyfriends. It'll be like,
genuinely-
I went on 2 dates with this guy. Here's the message I got when I didn't want to see him again.
It feels to me like that ancient meme where it's like that guy who's doing this and it's like, hey girl, I know that our Thanksgiving is like over, but I just want you to know that I'm stuffed with thoughts about our, you know, like, it really reminds me of that sort of shit.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
God, I love that Vin Diesel is just doing this. He's just doing this because there are real people doing real negotiations in the background of this. There are people in an adult room somewhere.
Yeah.
Doing real things.
He's not one of them.
With money and paperwork and time.
Yeah.
And Vin Diesel's like, let me just post about it. That'll do it.
Let me just get on Instagram.
And what he's really saying is, let me call this guy out in public.
Yeah.
And see if the Fast and Furious fans
will pressure him into coming back for another movie so we can all make the Rock amount of money.
That's right.
That's it.
So fucking weird.
Like, guaranteed, it is, like, you guys, beyond his, like, weird, creepy approach to it, it is entirely financially motivated.
Mm-hmm.
It is, the Fast and the Furious is he probably made less money on the last one. Not he did, but the movies are not at their peak of popularity.
I think Fast 10 did really well, I think. Yeah.
I feel like there would be a concern of like, hey guys, how are we gonna get people to watch 100 of these fucking movies? We know that you think you've seen everything, but what if we bring The Rock back?
Okay, so Fast 10.
Mm-hmm.
Fast 10, you're right, did not do as crazy well as some of the other ones. Fast 10 is, it's the 8th highest grossing.
Out of 10.
Out of 12. I know. I know. Because you gotta count Hobbs and Shaw. Right?
What else? What's the other one? What makes it 12? Why is it 12?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're right. It's 12. I'm looking at it. It just doesn't make sense to me.
They just didn't count one in the numbers? Because, like, I get Hobbs and Shaw not being in the numbers.
Right.
Okay. How many of them did The Rock even do? Like 2?
2. And that's the thing is one of them was Hobbs and Shaw.
Exactly. But
and
that's
the only reason
the thing.
And the only reason he did Hobbs and Shaw is because Vin Diesel wasn't there.
Yeah.
It's the only reason he did
So
it.
it's exactly that of being like that guy who's like, yeah, we went on 2 dates and then I said I didn't want to see you again. And you're like, I just can't believe that you would be such a demonic, dark, and evil woman that would be so inconsiderate of my feelings to not want to see me again. I thought what we had was special.
You know what? It is 11. They're counting in 12. There was a re-release of the original film in 2021. That's why I was like, no, there isn't another one. Why am I going insane?
And where does that fall on the list, the re-release?
Oh, it's very last. Because it was if I remember.
It's just a re-release.
It was a re-release, and I believe it was just for one weekend right before, I want to say Fast 7 or Fast 6 or Furious 7 came out. It was like a recap thing, you know?
Okay.
I still think one of the best things that you can do, one of the most fun games that you can play, Take somebody who's never seen any of the Fast and Furious movies, show them the first one and the last one, and then ask them, how did we get there? How do you think we got there?
You can do what we did when we watched through the first 7 of the Fast and the Furious movies for the Patreon, where Anthony each time would ask me my predictions for the movie as an ambush when I was unprepared, and I would try and guess what happens in the next movie.
Yeah. And the farther you go, the harder it is to guess.
You won't get it.
Because remember, in the original film, they were just street racers in Orange County that were stealing DVD players off of trucks. Then you go to Fast 10 and cars drive up and down walls. They swing from vines. Cars can go into space. Anything could happen.
Truly anything can happen.
Anything could happen. It's fun. It's fun.
That is on the Patreon. I think you can search content on the Patreon. It was the first year we had the show.
Yeah.
So it's back in 2020.
You would have to
way back there.
I
think you can search.
If you search Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Look, Vin Diesel uses social media super weird and always has.
Yeah.
He has that Facebook page where they just post inspirational quotes from other people with pictures of Vin Diesel. That's really fun.
My favorite user of social media is still Mark Wahlberg. Have you watched Mark Wahlberg's reels?
No.
Where Mark Wahlberg puts on his like fanciest outfits, like streetwear, like drip, and then he goes and like kisses some statue at a church every day, and he's like, "Gotta get prayed up."
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, because he has a prayer app.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. Have you not seen the Mark Wahlberg prayer app?
No.
Dude, have you all not seen this? Mark Wahlberg.
I also try to pretend Mark Wahlberg doesn't exist.
Mark Wahlberg posts every day, like, and it'll be like a pan of his outfit, and then he'll walk up to like a Virgin Mary or something, and he'll give it like the Catholic kiss on both cheeks, and he'll be like, "Gotta get prayed up. Gotta get prayed up today. Don't forget to get prayed up."
Stop.
And it's so fucking good because Mark Wahlberg, remember, is the man that said, "If I was on that plane, wouldn't have been a 9/11. Dude, if I was on that plane, I would have got him. Gotta get prayed up."
He did say that.
Gotta get prayed up.
He also committed some hate crimes.
Yes.
Just as a reminder.
Yes. He committed racially motivated crimes. Mark Wahlberg. I love it.
My God.
Yeah, there he goes. He's getting prayed up.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm stressed. We can't do audio from my laptop necessarily, so I'm just going to play it loud. Okay. I don't think they can hear it. It
Happy
says
Sunday, everybody. God bless you. Stay prayed up.
The fuck is prayed up?
You got to stay prayed up, dude. You got to stay prayed up. He kisses a different cross every week. Stay prayed up.
Why is he out of breath?
Because sometimes Mark Wahlberg, because he also has fitness products. Sometimes Mark Wahlberg will run to the church.
But he didn't in this video.
No, he's in his jogging stuff. There are two different Mark Wahlbergs that pray. Please allow me to explain. One is the full drip Mark Wahlberg that gets prayed up, right? And then sometimes there is the Mark Wahlberg that's getting in shape, and you can tell because he's in like his Under Armour or whatever, and he's like huffing and puffing like he just ran 1,000,000 miles, and then he kisses and he gets prayed up. He runs to get prayed up. He literally is
like, "Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Stay prayed up.
Stay prayed up." The Lord does run deep on this. Mark Wahlberg's prayer app. Hold on.
Anthony wasn't kidding. There's so many.
It's all he posts.
It's just him working out and him in front of a cross.
God bless you. Stay prayed up. It's all he does. It's who he is.
All he does is commit hate crimes and pray.
That's right. That's all Mark Wahlberg knows. Here is the app. It's called Hallow.
Stop.
Pray every day this Lent alongside Mark and millions of other Christians around the world in Hallow's Lent prayer challenge, Pray 40, starting on Wednesday. Everybody, you have just enough time to get into Pray 40. If you start now.
What is Pray 40?
Pray every day of Lent for all 40 days.
Why does it sound like a fitness challenge?
Because that's all he knows. Fitness and prayer is same. Fitness, prayer, fight transformer, do a hate crime.
I'm going on a low devil diet?
That's right. Optimally, you want to be on a zero devil diet. Optimally.
Yeah.
But as we know from Mark Wahlberg's own personal story, you can't quit the devil cold turkey. You work your way down from a hate crime, apparently. Didn't Mark Wahlberg yell at you once?
No.
No. Okay.
No. Mark Wahlberg played my father in a movie and was nice to me as a child, but that doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
He's still a bad man.
While we're talking about weird celebrities.
The drunk director yelled at
me. David O. Russell yelled at you.
Yeah.
David O. Russell yells at everybody.
Yeah, I think that was just his actual default speaking volume.
Yeah.
Isn't Lent really far away? When the fuck is Lent?
Lent is really far. I don't know. Maybe they're not updating the site enough. Speaking as a non-Gentile, I don't know what to tell you about Lent.
Guys, it's in March.
Oh, get ready.
March to April.
Get ready.
Okay, but we were going to talk about something about social media because it's about people using social media weird.
Yes, and I do have an incredibly weird social media to show you, Saige.
Okay.
One more.
All right.
Before we do
Third tangent,
but I promise this is so good. We all know the actor Walton Goggins.
Sure.
Plays the
ghoul.
He plays the ghoul. He's the bad guy in the Ant-Man and the Wasp. Great actor. Walton Goggins is doing something that is a bit, but isn't a bit. I don't understand it. Maybe you can help. Maybe we can all understand it together.
Okay.
As an actor, I use my eyes to tell stories, to convey emotion, to move people.
So
and that often
this is him doing a bit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
moving around.
And so he's talking about Walton Goggins goggle glasses.
Okay, that's funny.
It's funny, right? And he does this whole bit during the thing where he puts it on and he's like, I need glasses that that give a perfect seal, that don't ruin my movement because I'm an actor and movement is life.
Okay.
It's very goofy and silly, right?
Okay.
And he's done like a few of these.
Yeah.
He did a live and he goes,
What's up, everybody? Walton G here.
What's up, everybody? Walton G here.
Look on my
He's
face. You know what
he's
it is?
doing the influencer thing so well, right?
Uh-huh.
And they're clearly just like cheap ski goggles that he's wearing. And this one he shows you that he can cut an onion with them. But then this one pops up.
Oh.
And it's a full-on like,
Yeah, they shot him a commercial.
this is a real like fashion brand commercial.
So I don't think he's launching an actual glasses line. But my question is, what is he launching that this is like a bit for?
Oh, Saige.
Do we already know the answer?
Here's the thing.
Maybe they'll sell the goggles, but I'm saying that can't be the end result.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it has to be a bit promoting something else.
Because
is my guess.
because if you were wondering, are they selling the goggles? Yes.
How much are the goggles?
Saige, the goggles are $150.
Hell yeah.
That's why I want to know what the bit is. What's the fucking bit? Because this is clearly a goof, but to what end? Because you're selling real goggles. Okay? They come in Mama Skillet, Limoncello, Cumulonimbus, La Tortuga, and Blue. What is the bit? We're building up to something. This is a goof.
It has to be building to something else.
But what is it for?
I don't know. Because I'm like, if it wasn't attached to his like actual name, I'd be like, maybe it's a show and that's a character. But it's his actual name. I got nothing.
So like, if it wasn't, the other thing is if I had clicked through to the store, I'm so used to with things like this, you go to click through to the store and then you'll get a thing that says like, leave your email and we'll let you know when we launch. And then you get like an ad campaign for Walton Goggins' next show or whatever.
Sure.
This is, you can buy it right now. I went through the checkout process and it nearly like, it was going to let me buy these.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is no longer a bit. I'm confirming my financial information. It's going to sell me these goggles.
Right.
Walton Goggins, what are you doing?
Walton Goggins will sell you those goggles.
Because if it wasn't for the store, I'd be like, Walton Goggins is doing such an amazing parody of celebrities that attach themselves to extremely strange products.
Yeah.
Usually for like a piece of the business.
Right.
And they make an insane amount of money on a product they don't know anything about or care about.
Yeah.
And he was doing such a good job of parodying that.
Right.
But he's really selling the goggles.
But you can just buy the goggles.
But you can have the goggles.
But the thing is, you can buy the goggles. So what is happening? If anybody has any thoughts, please let us know.
If anybody is Walton Goggins, I'm going to say this for the 500th time. Walton Goggins, call me. Just call me. Walton G. What's up? We could hang.
Yeah. I just want to know. Just tell me. I won't tell anyone. I'll really tell you guys.
Do you remember the episode of Community where he played the lawyer? He played Pierce's lawyer after Pierce died.
Yeah. And
he was giving everybody sperm, Pierce's sperm. Like one of the funniest bits in Community. And it was just Walton Goggins doing it completely straight-faced and perfect.
Right.
So funny. That's why this goggles thing is so funny too.
Right.
Is because he's really leaning into it. Like, it didn't feel like parody.
Mm-hmm.
He was really acting it.
Yeah. Super fucking weird.
He didn't wink at the camera once.
And now, that's the only way I could know.
Retro Kid in the live studio audience says, what if it's sperm again?
No. I had to approve these. All right. Listen, okay.
I'm going to get him in blue.
It's specifically, the only description says, not shiny, matte blue.
Not shiny. I'm learning. You got to let me learn. If you don't let me learn, I can't.
You don't have to learn live.
I'm going to learn
You actually don't have to learn live on the internet.
But this is the thing, is I'm learning, and I'm getting better every time. Not shiny, matte blue. Okay? Fucking be cool about it.
So listen, the internet's a very confusing place because people don't always wink when they're joking.
I'm confused right now.
Okay? You can't always tell, which is why it's a dangerous place for children. And the only place doing anything about it is Australia.
That's right.
Listen, Australia is set to ban kids under 16 from social media. They will be the first country in the world to enact a law like this. So currently, there aren't laws in place about kids on social media. There are policy platforms, right? So TikTok, by policy, is no one under 13. Australia says, no, across the board, you shouldn't be on social media apps if you are under 16. It's dangerous. And there have been countless psychological studies about the effects of social media on kids, about how detrimental it is to their long-term mental health, about how it completely affects the way that they establish their sense of self and identity, their self-image, the way that their lack of like actual literacy is affected by it, their understanding of information, their critical thinking skills.
We were talking about the pipeline earlier today. Like kids are, listen, and all of this stuff started, once again, we're going to go back to it. Ronald Reagan, in the 80s, got rid of a lot of media laws that started this sort of like tumble down into letting kids just consume. Look, if you've got a kid and you want your kid to be able to consume a thing, you do it. That's you. But here's the deal. There have been like, there is no useful function for anyone to be on social media,
right?
Let alone a child. As I'm sure as children, we all were made fun of. We all had people like, there is no outlet on social media where a child is not getting bullied and told mean things about themselves.
Yes.
And spreading horrible things about themselves. And also, there are, and I'm not fear-mongering here, there are a lot of people online that want to take advantage of children.
Yes.
In multiple ways.
Yes.
In terms of their money, in terms of their attention,
yes.
in terms of the way they think, but also like the really big icky ones that are unsafe.
Right. There are actual predators online, and there are also horrific pipelines that kids are just not, like, their brains are not developed enough to be exposed to misinformation and sort through it. And I saw in the live studio audience, somebody was like, well, they don't want people to be, politically informed before they can be molded to vote for their shitty candidates. I'm not saying that the Australian political system is good, but what I will say is they're not banned from the internet.
Yeah.
From social media.
You can still read social media.
16.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, most kids aren't starting to get, like, informed on how they would vote before 16 anyways.
Right.
And 2, they shouldn't discover it from social media. We should actually really, and I understand that social media is an incredibly powerful tool for giving voices to the voiceless, for sharing actual information. But we also are living in a false sense of security in that this is unfiltered information.
Yeah.
Algorithms are affecting every piece of information you consume. When people say social media, that means you're receiving your news from ByteDance or Meta, right? Pretty much one of those two things, one way or the other.
Or Elon Musk.
Right. Exactly. ByteDance, Elon Musk, or Meta.
And we know
so that's not a helpful way. That's not like, oh, we're getting the, real access to information.
Right.
It isn't.
And people are saying, like, we've got in the live studio audience, is it not the parents' job to protect their kids? It is. But we also have rated R movies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We have
like,
other regulations.
If your mom or dad walks you up to the movie theater and says, this is my child, they can have a ticket to this rated R movie, the movie theater will let the child in.
Yeah.
Kids just can't go into rated R movies if they're not supposed to.
Right.
The other thing is, yes, parents are supposed to be protecting their kids. But that's something that I think is said very often by people who don't have children.
Yes.
I don't have a kid, and it's very easy for me to say, hey man, just watch what your kid is doing. When? All the time?
Yes.
And if you give your child a screen or a device, how do you keep them? Listen, I'm somebody who had a full-on PC upstairs in my own bedroom when my mother was downstairs.
Right.
She didn't know what I was doing on that PC, and I was doing some terrible things.
Same.
That's just, I was looking at information that was dangerous. I was going and seeing things that weren't good for me. She would come in and check on me and be like, hey, what's up? And I'd be like, bleh,
Yeah.
But now when a kid has a tablet, when a kid is connected all the time, there is no way for a parent. I mean, and you can set parental guards, you can do all kinds of things. Kids are always going to poke at boundaries. That's what kids do.
So that, though, is the standard for the most caring of parents, right? So should it be the consequence that falls on the child when they don't have a caring parent, right? Because not all parents are made equally. So should we allow it to be so unregulated, whereas kids that are unfortunate enough to have a parent that doesn't care to that degree, screw them, I guess? Like, no regulation because their parent should get good. Only the kid suffers in that situation, and not anyone else.
And once again, just to say it, this does not stop the kid from browsing social media. This stops the kid from having an account, which I think is totally, listen, to me, 16 sounds a little old, but going by the studies and everything, I'm not gonna strongly argue it.
Yeah.
I would just say that, like, if I had kids, I would probably let them a little younger than 16. Somebody else said, none of these social media apps are regulating whether the kids right now are actually 13.
No.
Well, this is what's going to do that, right?
Right.
So this is the thing. Like, right now, all that's regulating that is terms of service, right? TikTok says, or Instagram says, hey, if you're not 13 or 14, you can't have an account. You shouldn't have one. You need your parents' permission. Don't sign up if you're under that age.
Yep.
And kids sign up anyway. And these companies let those terms of service slide because unless they're posting something dangerous, and even if they are, they don't care. They want the kids on their platform. They say it to protect themselves, right? That kid was doing something against our terms of service. If that kid came online and saw something terrible on TikTok or Instagram that they shouldn't have seen, well, that kid wasn't supposed to be on the service. It's not for them actually blocking kids. They want kids on the service. This is a law that will stop that. This is
Yeah.
a law that the government says, we just found a kid that was under 16 on your app.
Mhm.
You get fined now.
Right. Which means, okay, we're going to have to put safeguards in place so that we don't get fined. We're going to have to actually do things to keep kids off of this. Because let me tell you, hey, personal experience, I have young nieces and nephews, okay? They're on TikTok. They are younger than the limitations for TikTok. And I'm not above this. I've gone and reported their accounts.
Yeah,
I've gone
I
and
know you
reported their
have.
accounts. It's something that I have done. And every single time TikTok has come back to me and said, we don't see a problem here.
We don't see a problem.
We don't see a problem here. And they have a specific report that you can click for this child is under the age of 13. Okay? Because I think they're in danger, right? And that's my prerogative. I'm just using the platform rules. Sorry, you are under 13.
And what that does is it sends it to somebody in TikTok support, or it sends it to an automated service. And that person looks at it and goes, they look 13 to me.
Or they don't even look at it.
Or they don't even look.
But if there was a regulation where if they
Yeah.
did that, they could potentially be fined because I could go, hey, actually then, you just broke the law. They would probably not go, doesn't look 13 to me.
Yeah, I'm reporting this to you, and then I'm also going to report it to whatever government site. Because it's not like, it says right here in the article that social media companies have 1 year to work out how they're going to make this ban happen.
Yeah.
So it's not like the government is saying you need to add something to your app that where if somebody reports a kid for being under the age of 16, not only do you get notified, but we get notified. They're not saying anything like that. Like the Australian government is not like, let us into your app, into your code, into your data. What they're saying is you figure out a way to reasonably do this, and we will watch over you as you do it. So I'd imagine what would happen is you would report the kid for being under 16.
Yeah.
And then you would have to go to some site for the Australian government and be like, hey, I filed a report with TikTok and it's been like 3 weeks and they haven't removed this kid who's under 16. And then somebody from the government would look at it.
Right. And also, realistically, it would just be a matter of like changing the norm and the expectation because like, sure, some kids will get by it, but the standard will not be break the law.
Right.
Like, it just wouldn't be worth the risk most of the time, and it would affect the standard of kids getting on social media at 10 years old.
And even if this thing winds up being an unenforceable mess, it's an unenforceable mess that the government is going to check up on from time to time, which will curb some of this, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's important. And I think it's important to also remember that what we're talking about here is we're not talking about some small to medium-sized business that that's now going to start buckling under the weight of regulation. This is not a regulation that is going to remove access to free speech and information from people who are under 16. This does neither of those things.
No.
This is one of the largest and most valuable social media apps in the world being told, follow your own rules.
Yeah.
And if you're not following your own rules, we're going to make you follow your rules. And this is also telling kids, hey, you can look at whatever you want. We don't want you interacting.
Yes.
And I think that's fine.
We don't want people to be able to message you, to contact you. We don't want you to be able to post yourself because you can never remove those things. And you're not at an age where your brain is developed to a place where you can decide if that's what you want for the rest of your life. And it is adults' responsibilities to protect you. That's it. And you were talking about like if you had kids, you might let them on earlier than 16.
Yeah.
I think that 5 years ago, hell, 3 years ago, I would have probably agreed with you. In December of 2024, I don't. And I don't have kids. So like, obviously this is very hypothetical. But with the way that social media currently is, with the experience and knowledge that I have of social media now, of the ways that it can be used, of the consequences of it being used incorrectly, and the permanence of it.
Yeah.
And just like the way pipelines are worse than pipelines weren't like this.
No.
Like information pipelines are to me like number one, and number two is like creeps, you know?
Yeah. Algorithmically, since the Facebook suit.
Yeah.
About the 2016, the Cambridge Analytica stuff.
Yeah.
We have really seen how completely targeted and manipulative the algorithms have gotten. And, you know, I've worked very hard to make my algorithm on most things pictures of frogs.
Yeah, mostly.
I
get a lot of otters.
I get people who do weird things in PS1 style graphics in 3D.
Yeah.
Really surreal garbage stuff. But I had to work to do that, and I'm scrolling past some terrible shit that I'm old enough and I know that it's terrible shit. Whereas at the same time, I remember myself at 15, 16 on the internet.
Yeah.
And if I found something that was really horrible on the internet, because you're 15, 16 and you naturally are like, you're taking in everything about the world.
Oh, yeah.
You lean in.
Morbid curiosity is at an all-time high when you're 15.
Mm-hmm. And so I think that, you know.
I don't think 16 is too old. And I you know, hey, that's going to be different for a lot of people. I have had a very eye-opening year last year on the internet of 2024.
Yeah.
And I as an adult, I as a woman in her late 20s, don't feel safe on the internet. I don't use the internet like I used to. And I desperately wish that I could remove every photo of me as a kid off the internet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel very lucky that like there was when MySpace changed owners 17 times.
Yeah, that all those photos went away.
All those photos went away.
Same.
Do I kind of miss them? Do I wish I still had them? I probably do on a hard drive somewhere.
Sure.
But they don't need to be on the internet. My opinions at that age, that's the other thing. My opinions at that age also did not need to be on the internet.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of things recently with YouTubers, TikTokers, you know, people who are about, you know, mid to late 20s who did and said some horrible shit online when they were teenagers, when they were going through their edgelord phase.
Yeah.
That has ruined them.
Yeah.
It has ruined them. And listen, kids, once again, say horrible things to poke boundaries.
Yeah.
It's a psychological thing. Kids do it. 9 times out of 10, they actually don't mean anything about it unless you let it continue with them.
Right.
But they are just poking at boundaries. They're like, what happens if I say this?
And now they poke that boundary and 100,000 random creepy weird adults that have bad opinions jump in and are like, you're right, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is it. Come with us.
Or things like I'm saying, kid says one thing, 10 years later, does not believe that thing.
I know, but it's too late because they were embraced by the community that believes that thing. You know what I mean? Because now you have the experience of, I believed that thing then, I don't believe it now. But I think what we're going to see is less of that, where kids get taken at that point into a community of it, and that's the pipeline of it all, and don't have the chance to go, ooh, I believed that thing, and it was just like a weird idea. Like I read about a conspiracy theory, I just said it on the internet.
I didn't even believe it. I was just yelling about it because it was funny to me to yell about it.
A kid that reads that the pyramids aren't real and they don't understand that it's rooted in something, right?
Or you know, or worse stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like when I was like 14, 15 and I had an internet connection, I was going to some bad places.
Yeah.
I wasn't posting very much. I was never a poster. I've always been a lurker. But with my friends, we would say horrible shit to each other.
Sure.
Just to see what would happen if we said horrible shit. And I think you're right. We are moving towards a future where those people get sort of embraced. But right now we're at a place where like none of those like mid to late 20 somethings right now believe that stuff that they said, but it's still there.
Yep.
Because they said it in a place. They said it in a place where they didn't remember that they even said it.
Yep.
Some message board they went on once when they were, you know, and it's like that stuff shouldn't be on your permanent record.
No.
There's a very important part of child psychology and early childhood and adolescence where you do test social norms.
Right.
And it makes teenagers the fucking worst.
Yeah.
But it's for a reason. They are testing out everything about being an adult, everything about existing in society. And a lot of that stuff comes out weird and awkward and bad and hateful. And that should not be on anyone's permanent record if they grow out of it.
Yep.
And unfortunately it is. And I think that's one very good thing. Let people read whatever they want.
Yeah.
But to go on the horrible shitstorm and post into the horrible shitstorm, maybe you don't need to do that. I don't even feel like I need to do that, and I'm allowed.
Exactly. And like, it doesn't disconnect kids. Kids can still communicate with each other. Like, we can, like, hey, Kids will just go back to group chats and texting. But then they just have to talk to people that have their actual information and strangers can't just find them. I'm in favor of that. And I don't think that should be controversial. I don't know, you know?
I honestly, and I say this as somebody that's coming to you live over the internet right now, I think we should cut the fucking undersea cable. I think it's over. I think we tried the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We tried it. It was all right. It was all right. I feel like there was 1 or 2 years there where it was even pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Cut it off.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
Well, everybody, that's the end of our show. That is all the show that we have time for.
Because we're
Thank you
cutting
so
the
much
cable.
for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. Subscribe to see if we do, in fact, cut the cable next week. Today is Monday. We will be back on Friday. We cannot cut the cable until Friday. We have a sponsored ad, so we cut it.
Baby,
over
ain't
the
that
weekend?
just the way?
Can we cut it over the weekend?
Sure.
Great. So do join us on Friday. Check out patreon.com/Pixel Circus if you haven't gotten quite enough of it yet. You get a bonus clip from us every week. That there are shows. There were no shows last week. We took a little time off for the holiday. But yeah.
Join the Discord. Follow us on the social media. And remember that there is a Patreon and it's full of wonderful content, new content every single week that we are making content. That's an asterisk.
Yeah.
If you see us live on the internet that week, we've got some Patreon content
There
for
you go.
And this was a depressing episode.
Yeah, a little. We talked a lot about like AI and like no deals, huh? I guess it was.
Hey, I'll show you this to lighten the mood here at the very end. So
It was the goggles for a second.
So apparently girls don't like it when you use an Android emulator on a date to scam McDonald's out of 30 nuggets. There he is.
Depending on how much time it takes.
There he is. Hey, Eli, I just wanted to be up front. I think you're a cool guy, but the thing you did with the 3 McDonald's apps was weird and embarrassing. I don't think this is going to work out. We're going to go through and thank everybody that supported us live during the show. But before then, Saige, where can people find you? What are you up to?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Sage. I'm mostly active on TikTok these days, actually. How about you, Anthony?
You can find me everywhere at a Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. And new episode of We Have Concerns going up today after taking a couple of weeks off. So go check that out at wehaveconcerns.com.
Thank you once again for spending your morning with us. We really appreciate it, and we will see you on Friday.
If Eli's in the chat, let me know how you do that trick with the nuggets.
Bye.